Oh, just a second.
Welcome back to the FPL Banger Show. My name is Siva. I'm joined by Sam. Game week 17, Sam. And let's ignore the ranks here below. We've spoken about it briefly before coming on air, and we've decided, let's not make a big deal about this, Sam. Although I will continuously remind you, Sam, there was a point in the season where you were ahead of me. And
Game week 1 is that point.
no, it wasn't game week 1. I think it was like game week 3 or 4. And I look at our contrasting fortunes, right? I'm at 90K, you're at 2 mil. And I just think, I know that over Christmas, Sam, game week, we're going to have like 5 game weeks in 3 weeks or something stupid like that. I see great things for you coming, Sam. Glad tidings and all that in your future.
I would just say that, I don't play. How many years have we been playing FPL, Siva? Right,
This lost count. I mean, you can see. I mean, if you take a picture of how we look now versus how we look when we first started this pod, I mean, the video quality may have improved, but the faces.
We started in 2012. That was the first season I played FPL in.
Yeah, it's about the same time I started.
Yeah, and I spent a good 10 years trying to get the highest rank possible each year. And then I got bored. So now my goal is not really to get the highest rank. I'm the whole reason I play FPL is just that one game week where I went super differential and it worked out. I don't mind 37 shit game weeks. I just need that one where all my picks worked out, some Maverick syndrome stuff. And that's all I live for, Siva.
That's what we all do, right? We live for that high. I did see a post on Twitter this week. I think it was FPL Flapjack who said, like, do you think you'll ever get bored of this game? And I'm not sure I will. I'll tell you a story, right?
Yeah. Go ahead, Siva. Tell me your story.
So, for people who don't know, right, we live in Malaysia. So the deadline here is about 6 p.m. most weeks, weekends for us. I think that's like, I assume, 12 noon in the UK or 11 a.m. in the UK. And so it's a awful time because it's Saturday. You got to spend time with the kids. You got to pay attention to the family and stuff. And so I hate doing it because I'm trying to think about my transfers in between running after kids and shouting at them and trying to bathe them and whatever. And so like 5:35, 5:45 before the deadline, like 50 minutes before the deadline, I have used my 4 free transfers. So I've got this fifth one and I'm thinking about it. I message you. You don't really help because I want to get rid of Brian and Bomo, and you say, no, you don't need to do that. And you don't like any of the guys I want to replace him with. And then you know what? I just look at points scored over the last like 5 weeks. I look at everybody's, it's because everybody on Twitter is buying Dominic Szoboszlai. And I'm trying to brain it. Like, I get it. The models say he's good, and all the smart, engaged managers are buying him. And I don't vibe with it because you watch this guy every week and he never gets anywhere near the box anyway, right? And he's got like 2 goals all season, one of which was like from 60 yards out. And then I just see Harry Wilson. He's just doing points. And yeah, why not? And then I do it. I don't watch any of the games on that night. I go to sleep like way early. And you wake up, he's got 16 points. And no thought given to this, no real research. And this is just how stupid this game is. Like, it's not about how much. It's not like if you invest more time and you get better this game, Sam. It's all pure luck.
In fact, I think it's inversely proportional to the time you invest into this game. And I just want to point out, Siva, that we did talk about Harry Wilson in our last week's episode, and neither of us, rated him as a pick. And then I find out, Siva, that you bring him in right before deadline, and then he gets 16 points. I'm really mad, Siva, because I thought you were with me, and now
I
you
think
left.
the conclusion we reached, Sam, was he won't be good because all of Fulham's best players are going off for AFCON. And then I remembered, but AFCON isn't this week, so who cares?
Yes. And also, I mean, I think the conclusion I drew from it is not so much Harry Wilson good, it's more Burnley. Very bad.
Very, 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 very bad. I would say Burnley are worse than Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, I think the XG models agree with you, Siva, because Wolves on XG is not doing too bad. They just, can't finish any chance. But Burnley, on XG bad, goals conceded, XGC also very bad. What can you say?
You're not wrong. Wolves have conceded 35 goals, but have actually only conceded 24 goals in XG, whereas Burnley 33 real goals, 33 goals conceded on XG as well. So stats don't lie. Burnley are as bad as they look. And with that in mind, Sam, let's go into. We had questions here from, I think, Dheeraj, who asked, guys like Bruno Guimaraes, Rice, and Szoboszlai, are they really a pick? And I read this and I think, yeah, they're okay picks, but how are you not just getting Antoine Semenyo this week? How is that not the most obvious transfer ever? Back in
Yeah.
form, scored against a very good team last week, one of the best teams in the world, and he's gonna have fun. No Axel Tuanzebe for Burnley. I don't think that makes much of a difference. Like the right back missing from the worst team in the league is not gonna be, Hannibal Mejbri is not there, but this is still a pretty shit team. Antoine Semenyo, are you
Yeah.
interested or are you scared because he's got 4 yellows?
I have Semenyo. I've kept him for this game week alone.
So I can
Whether
see
there was
why
a
the rank is
good
where it is at, man. But
Well, I got his goal last week, so I mean, I knew it was gonna be a very dicey game that could go either way, which is why I had Semenyo, which is why I kept Mbeumo. I didn't know he was not gonna contribute despite United scoring 4 goals, right?
kind of
But
lucky.
yeah, yes, unlucky.
In
I
a
do
game
have
of 4
Semenyo,
goals.
feeling pretty good about him. I still have Senesi, but
Mm.
he has been warming my bench most weeks, but coming in this week. So I have Groupie Junior, who I got on a wild card to warm my bench, but I'm very tempted in starting him because he scored and I think even if he doesn't start, if he comes on, I think last 15-20 minutes against Burnley, that's good enough, right?
I'm not sure I'll go that far, but I see what you mean, right? I mean, he probably does score, but it's one of those like I can't start a guy whose minutes are so uncertain. But I think that is a classic sort of difference between you and me, Sam. I am a very boring person who wants my guys to play 90 minutes every week. And the irony of getting Semenyo this week because he's nailed for Christmas and then brother gets a yellow card in the first 3 seconds against Burnley, it's almost inevitable. But compared to the other guys Dheeraj was talking about, right? And we've spoken about these guys a lot. Bruno Guimaraes, I'm sorry, I don't
Good
buy
pick.
these Olympico.
I
You're gonna
I
tell me he's a good pick.
I think Bruno G is a good pick.
I don't buy it, man. I think Newcastle's really sus. Like I struggle to understand what they seek to achieve in attack. I don't get any of the signings. I don't get like I think Nick Waltermata is having a massive crisis of confidence. People will say it has a lot to do with the own goal, but I think it goes further back. Do you know he doesn't have a girlfriend? And he's being asked about this in a lot of interviews. So you don't have you met direct question, have you not met any females in Newcastle? He's like, I don't know why
But,
this is such a question people keep asking me.
no offense to females in Newcastle, but
I mean, the point is Nick Waltemade, he's not scoring off the pitch, and he's scoring own goals on the pitch. I mean, brother's lacking confidence. Wissa is fit. Wissa's not going for AFCON.
yeah,
Wissa scored this
Scott,
week.
yes.
Um, and
I
Bruno
will
G,
say, I will
Sam,
say,
you
I think Newcastle's attack may be players that you can consider, right? Not okay. So they have 2 hard fixtures coming up, so I wouldn't bring them in this week. They got Chelsea and then United, but after that, they have Burnley, game week 19, Palace, which I really don't know what's gonna happen because by then the players might all be half dead, right? And then Leeds and Wolves. So that's a pretty good 4 fixture run. So I think my entry point for any Newcastle players would be game week 19 onwards.
yeah, I see that. I mean, we've got the fixtures on the screen now, and yeah, Game Week 19 looks like a kinda entry point. So which again, so Bruno Guimaraes, I'm not keen. Declan Rice. So this sort of ties into whether you have double Arsenal defense, I think, because again, you may correct me, Sam, but I kind of still like Saka as a pick, and I thought this week sort of encapsulates why Saka is such a good pick because Arsenal were really, really, really bad, and Saka was about the only person who was going to make anything happen. Now, yes, you can argue he's not going to score. Well, some people say he doesn't deserve the assist, but we'll leave that be. But it's all through Saka. Like nothing else is being created by that team if not for Saka. Still guaranteed to play 90 most weeks. So I like having Saka, and I still think Arsenal double defense. I know a lot of people are upset because they didn't keep it clean against Wolves, but barring the last 10 minutes, Wolves did nothing. And so
Yeah.
Arteta said this after the game. Like the reason they conceded was because they kept backing off at the end, and he thinks that's just down to the fact that there's not enough training because they keep having so many games. And this week he's had the whole week to shout at them. Like there's a good video of him like shaking hands with Mikel Moreno, and he just looks at him like gives him a real death stare. And Moreno just looks sad, like he knows that there's gonna be a flogging in the dressing room after the game. So I just think Arsenal double defense. You
Yeah.
have it, you keep it, you trust in it because what other defenders are there to pick in this game anyway?
Yeah. And I think they really suffered from the change in backline, right? Like, you know, Hinkafi played left back, right?
He
Right.
started at left back, but then
Yeah.
Ben White, who I cannot believe was playing a fourth game in 10 days because it's Ben White, went off after like one sprint and then they had to reshuffle things. So Hincapié ended up playing centre back by
Yeah.
within the first half. And you could argue Hincapié was probably at fault for the goal because he plays Arokodare on side.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gabriel definitely is coming back into the team once he's fit. But if you got
Definitely.
Hincapié, enjoy it for now.
Yep. But I think just, they had to shuffle because Calafari got carded, Gabriel's injured, Saliba got injured, and then so they had to shuffle before the game and during the game, another shuffle because of an injury. So I can understand why their backline looked kind of shaky. It's really tough to be solid when you're just moving all around, right? But looking long term, I still think Arsenal double defense is the way to go. I still have Timber and Hinkapi. So no complaints there. Then the question is, who do you choose as your third, right? And I have Rice, who has been decent, I guess, but of course, with Saka scoring high last week, I'm starting to feel it. Like, should I have just gone Saka instead? So the question is, if you're going double defense, then who is your third? And I guess Saka is the best option to pick, right?
I still think so. I think over time you'll see that Saka is just getting more returns. Now, Rice, I think the issue is that it's really heavily reliant on set pieces in a way that Saka also needs set pieces, but he has other sort of tools in his locker and he has pens. Obviously, it's a different price bracket, so not an apples to oranges comparison, but I think you want to have Saka. I think weeks like this show you that. And so I think I would still have Saka in the double defense. And with all that shuffling against Wolves, still only consider 3 shots, including the goal, which is pretty decent. It's kind of what you sign up for. I think with Arsenal, it's more of a system of play rather than sort of the personnel involved. And I think if I look at this next few fixtures, Everton, can we keep it clean? Of course we can. Like they're probably not going to have Dewsbury Hall, not going to have Iliman and Die. Fully think Arsenal are capable of clean. Brighton, a little harder, but you would still think so. Villa's going to be
Danny
tricky. Danny Welbeck, I mean, I can see him celebrating. Like he has no respect for his former teams. Brother celebrates against all of them, but still think
It's too
best defense
many,
in the league.
If he were to not celebrate, he can't celebrate against half the league.
That's true. And we had a question from Dira as well. Arsenal aside, what defense to really rely on for consistent points? Well, good
Okay.
luck, buddy. Yeah, I can't tell you. We could be here for 2 hours.
I would say a Palace defender, like I have Gehi, who, no complaints wearing Gehi, right?
Yeah,
If Munoz wasn't
manifesting
injured,
goals from nowhere. Yeah.
yeah. If Munoz wasn't injured, I think people would be happy having Munoz. A City defender, I guess. I have O'Reilly, also very happy
Me too.
O'Reilly, who seems nailed. Touch on wood, I guess.
I'm
But yeah,
stunned. Started again midweek. Like, started on the weekend. Ait Nouri was there. I thought last game before he goes off to AFCON, Pep does not care, man. He just loves this guy who I'm not even sure O'Reilly was a left back to begin with, but
he was
it's
not
working.
actually. I believe he's a winger, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Other than that, I don't see anyone. I am looking though to move to get an Everton defender next week. So I'm saving my transfers for that. Because I think Everton goes on a good run, game week 18 onwards. But I guess that's for next week's podcast.
Optimistic of you to think that we'll be doing a podcast right before Christmas, Sam, or during Christmas, or even after Christmas, given our general track record with multiple game weeks over a couple of days. But let's keep that optimism in the room.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
Everton defender.
I can briefly say about it. Like Everton game week 18 onwards, they have Burnley, Forest, Brentford, Wolves. That's as good as you can get. And Everton sneakily, doing the business, right?
Yeah, I think Michael Keane really slaps hard during this period. I think good fixtures for him. Uh,
Yeah.
and if you don't want Michael Keane, would I touch any other Everton defender? No. I'm really sad that Dewsbury Hall. Uh, wait, sorry, who?
Tarkowski?
Tarkowski. It's a bit expensive, right? If Keane is playing,
Mm,
I mean, I'm
I don't know.
tired of worrying about Jared
When you
Branswaite.
go Rice over Saka, you tend to have a lot of money in your team.
You are the only person who has excess cash, Sam. Everyone is dying this week. I've seen people talk about selling Timber to Hincapié, which no, sorry,
No.
Timber to Calafiori, which blows my mind. Now I get Calafiori; he's really sexy, just in general. Like he's a good-looking man, and then he scores from distance, or at least he shoots from distance. He shoots a lot, but in no way in hell am I taking Calafiori over Timber. Timber plays way more minutes. Calafiori is lucky that these subs keep happening after 60. One day Arteta's going to wake up and think, you know what, I'll make the sub before 60. Like, I don't think Arteta's playing FPL. So, no, I don't think Calafiori is better than Timber. And I can't understand those kind of
Yeah.
attempts to save money. So, to come back to your point, Sam, no, I think Michael Keane is a better pick than Tarkowski for more in terms of value comparison. I don't think you make that about a lot of other defenders. And these fixtures, yeah, easy for Everton.
Yeah. And Everton second half of the season, if you played FPL long enough, they they always start a bit shaky, and then the second half they're keeping clean sheets every week. So Everton.
Okay, so we sort of went back to defense, coming back to sort of midfield. Dira was asking about Bruno G. We disagree. I think Sam is the conclusion from that. I think you and I
Yeah.
have different views.
Not now, anyway, right? Like I think game week 19 onwards, Bruno G, I wouldn't mind him as a pick, although I am looking more towards Gordon, if he really nails on the spot. The problem is they have so many wingers and like people who can possibly play in those roles. Granted,
And the
Ilanga is not doing so well, so probably won't get a place there. But you get my point, right? The options make his minutes less secure.
Yeah, and the other problem I find with Newcastle is he doesn't really trust slash value these wingers to a level of like. See, Saka plays 90 every week. Anthony Gordon is not playing 90 every week. He was hauled off when they were losing that day. So was Elanga around what pre 60 minutes
Yeah.
to bring on Harvey Barnes and Jacob Murphy. And I'm pretty sure Baltimore is going to suffer the same thing soon. Things are not working there, and how in his attempt to fix them is making these guys come off earlier. So if Anthony Gordon can come off for 50 minutes, he can definitely get benched during Christmas. And you kind of want guys who are nailed, which is tough, which is why Semenyo is such a pick that I want because yeah, 4 yellow cards aside, I think he starts every single game from now until 21, which you
True.
can't say
Yeah.
the same of Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, agreed. And on Sobo, I think both of us are just not really keen. We don't see it, right?
Is it something we're missing, right? Because obviously I was very pleased to see that he ended up playing right back after about 20 minutes last week, which with Joe Gomez's injury. But that's not going to happen this week because Connor Bradley is back. So he should move back into the right wing position. Spurs concede. I don't know if you've seen this, Sam. They concede a shit ton of goals from outside the box, like unusually so. And Vicario seems to have this habit of passing it to the one guy who is being marked. He passed like Archie Gray. He basically threw under the bus. He did this thing against Fulham. I'm not sure if you've seen this goal against Fulham, where he just runs to the left back position and decides, I'm a left back now, and loses it, and then they concede.
Yeah.
I am quite scared that Szoboszlai halts this week.
I'm not scared of Soboslai. The person I do want to get jumping into forward saver is Ekitike, who I'm gonna point out again that I did say he was a good pick last week. And true enough, he hauled.
He did. He hauled. I mean, he scored within like 10 seconds and then scored another. Are you not concerned? I mean, we're moving, we're jumping around, but let's go with it. Ekitike, I've given him a lot of thought this week. Stats look great, scores goals, definitely fit into the team way better than the other striker they spent all this money on. But that other guy still exists. And Ekitike has only played 90 minutes once this season. And I don't think that Arne Slot is planning to play 4-4-2 anytime soon. He tried it once in the Champions League, but generally he's gone with this 4-2-3-1 in an attempt to sort of show up the defensive issues. My guess is he continues to play this formation. Is he really going to bench Isaac all over Christmas?
I don't know, but I think with Ekitike's form, you have to continue to let him start, right? And I just need Ekitike to start for at least the next 3 games, And then after that, if he loses his place, that's fine. I don't care anymore. I just want the Spurs game, the Wolves game, and the Leeds game.
Okay. Fair. So if it came down to a priority transfer this week, Sam, and this is where I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to make a transfer this week, bear in mind that Thiago is yellow flagged and we don't know. Assuming we don't know, because Keith Andrews gave a press conference today and just said, I don't know if Thiago's fit for the weekend. So would you make that move this week? Would you go Thiago to Ekitike?
I would, because, and I'm kind of sad that he got injured, so I won't be able to prove my point. But I do feel that with Dango now off for AFCON, it really will affect Thiago's output. I mean, it happened again last week where Dango won a pen. Yes, it was overturned, but it could have happened again. And with Dango gone, I really don't see how they're gonna. I mean, I don't think he's as good as a pick as people think he is. Now, granted, they are playing Wolves this week, right? So this week still a goal may come, but then the next weeks are not as easy as it looks on paper, right? Like Bournemouth. Okay, Bournemouth's a bit of a 50-50. Spurs as well. I don't know what's going to happen. Everton, Sunderland's really good. So I don't think it's as easy as it seems.
No, I'm with you. And I worry that the fact that I think it's like 4 of Thiago's pens have come from Dango winning them. And so you would like to think, oh, now mind, Sade will win all these pens, but it's not really a guarantee. And I don't think I don't think winning pens is a transferable skill in the formation. Like,
Yeah.
I think Dango is pretty unique in that sense. So a bit concerning. And selling before Wolves is scary, but it is Wolves away. And I think anybody who saw the Wolves Arsenal game will say the Wolves can defend. If they really put their mind to it, they can defend. And obviously it's one of those where, because they've lost so many games, once you get down, they are not getting back up again. But I think if I had to pick, I'd be tempted by Ekitike this week. I guess the only question is, how bad are Spurs?
Really bad.
Like sacking Thomas Frank kind of bad.
I think Liverpool without Salah, like all the distractions and stuff and all this kind of thing, they actually play better without Salah. And I got a feeling they will actually start doing really, really well now that Salah's not there.
Yeah, exactly. The kind of person Salah was talking about, man. Like, what's he done? It's not his fault that this team is useless. And they signed a bunch of guys who they can't figure out, and they have a bunch of people who don't work in the formation. It's not his fault, man.
I'm
not
doing.
Sure I'm inclined to agree with you, Sam.
I'm doing Volt to Ekitike this week. That's how much confidence I have.
I'm jealous of you because you
and
already got Semenyo as well. Yeah,
that's how much confidence I have in Ekitike and Liverpool, and that's also how much confidence I have in Volt and Newcastle. So
that's fair. I mean, Newcastle also quite badly hit by injuries, so I think Walter out makes sense. And Chelsea, kind of a solid defense. I hesitate to say, like starting to become a bit tough.
Yes, Chelsea actually a good defense, which is why I have Sanchez. I'm really happy with this pick I went on Wildcard because kind of differential, I guess. Like not many people were talking about it. Now they are. His level with clean sheets with Raya, by the way. They both have 8.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah, and Sanchez 4.9 still, very cheap compared to Raya's 6.
Yeah. It's one of those, right? Because I think Sanchez, especially, a lot of people remember the United red card and sort of like one of those games that sticks with you. But honestly, apart from that, very decent surprise. Trevor Chalobah, Sam. This is an insane run of points. 9, 11, 1, 9, 6, 6, 7, all the way going back to game week 10.
Yeah. I like it. I like Trevor Chalobah. I think he's the only nailed player in their defense, right? Everyone else, I don't know what's happening. I wouldn't mind it. Oh, we were talking about defense earlier, right? And you were saying like, who can you bring in? Trevor Chalobah would be my answer.
Yeah, it just feels weird. There isn't a jumping on point in these 5 weeks that's very clear. Newcastle away, Villa home, Bournemouth home, City away, Fulham away. It's it's tough to sort of get in that mental space where you think, okay, this is a week to transfer in a Chelsea player. I know Palmer's back, and we haven't really spoken about Palmer at all. And I'm still not convinced. The fact that he couldn't play Carabao this week, they said he's not ready to play 3 games in a week. That really puts me off. We got Christmas, man. Like I need guys who will play every week.
I was
So
reading about this groin injury that he has is the same one that Yamal has. I can't remember the name, but apparently it's really tricky because it's one of those things where it's not so straightforward. Like say, as you know, a ligament injury, which is like you're recovered, you're good, you can start playing again. Because apparently this groin injury kind of flares up. They have bad days, they have good days, and things like that. And it takes a really long time for them to be really fully recovered from it. So you may see like random benchings here and there, and that really put me off from considering Palmer.
yeah, athletic pubalgia, which is I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm
that's it.
pronouncing that right. Common issue for wingers with intense playing styles. I've never really associated Cole Palmer with an intense playing style. But maybe I'm not. Not doing him justice there. So long story short, I think can't remember where we were, Sam. Hugo Ekitike. I think that's where
No,
we
we were
stopped.
talking about defenders that there's no good jumping point for Chelsea. But my argument is that Chelsea is the kind of team where you just need to stick them in because you don't know when they will keep a clean sheet and when they won't. Right? Like you look at all these fixtures, yeah, they look tough, but at the same time, can Chelsea keep a clean sheet against Newcastle? Sure. Villa, sure. Bournemouth, sure. City, I don't know, but yeah, other than Fulham after that. So I don't mind. You know, if you have a lot of free transfers in and you really need a defender in, I wouldn't mind Trevor Chalobah.
Okay, so let's wrap up the we work it around, right? We did defense. We're not going to find any other defenders. We did attackers. Honestly, we spoke about Ekitike, and that's about it. Like, there is no other striker you're buying this week, right? Um, I can't think of any. Strikers are basically dying in this game. But does that mean you go to 4-5-1? Because I'm still not ready to do that.
I was planning to do that until Ekitike hauled and I changed my plan. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I think there are way more defender and midfield options than forwards right now. Right. And for everything you can say about your second forward, you could argue that you could find a midfielder who will get you just as much or if not more points.
So one of those midfielders that people seem to be talking about today is Ryan Cherky, and I see a lot of hype for Ryan Cherky after the Carabao Cup goal. I'm not feeling it. Maybe because I already got my triple city. I've got the box standard O'Reilly, Foden, Haaland trio, so I don't feel any envy. But we had a question from Dheeraj about do you go triple city attack or double attack and defense? I'm really not sold on doing this triple attack thing. Now Cherky's been great on the eye, but this is like yes, XG is not the be all and end all, but these are fairly low XG chances he's scoring. I'm not sure how sustainable it is. It's Pep. He wakes up on the side of
Yeah.
the bed and decides he just want to play him. A lot of things. It's not as if Doku's retired, right? He's still a factor there. So I just
I think Doko's
I'm not feeling
injured,
it.
right?
He is injured.
Yeah. So I think the problem with Cherky, which is that he's in a great run of form. So I do expect him to start this week, right? But then game week 18, I don't know anymore. Game week 19, I don't know anymore. So that's the danger, I guess, with Cherky. Really
And to be
good
fair,
player
that's
though.
probably
Like,
a danger for Foden as well. I mean,
true. But I do feel that Foden has maybe slightly more security compared to Cherky, right?
yeah. So
I
not
do
one for
like
me.
the pick. I do like the pick. Like as someone who chases differentials, I like it. Like everyone has Foden, has Haaland. Let's get in someone that no one has, right? So Cherky can be explosive on his day, although he mostly relying on assists, right? Not mostly, like pretty much, yeah. He got 7 assists, which is actually an insane number for the amount of minutes he's played.
Yeah, I think he was. I think I think he is joint highest for assists, or at least was before the United game against Bournemouth. I think then Bruno overtook him. Yep, I like Cherky. I don't think he's a bad pick. It's just one of those. I still
Yeah,
think the preferred mainstream trio of Man City players, your Foden, your O'Reilly, and Haaland's the way to go. Especially because O'Reilly has attacking threat as well. So it's not just clean sheets. And you look at these next three games, what, West Ham, Forest, Sunderland, I would say, what, 2 out of 3 cleans is not unrealistic to hope for, even if City
yeah,
have been leaky.
I agree. I'll do it on a free hit, like this week. But
So
long term, no. Yeah.
we did have a question about free hit, Sam. And Robin
Mm,
Doda asked us, give us your best free hit team this week. Now, this is not something that I think about a lot, but to be fair, free hit has to be played by game week 19. Uh, that's for FPL Hafiz who wanted to know when it's the last week to use it. And fair play to anybody who's this resilient to have held on this long.
yeah.
I wish I
So
was
for
you, but
all
I'm
your
not.
chips, basically, right? You have to play it. Is it by the 19 game deadline, right?
Yes.
So you get it for game week 19. Like that's the
Yep.
last time you can play it. So if you still have all 3 of your chips, you have to use a chip every week now. Just shout out to anyone here who has 3 chips, whoever you are.
That's pretty fun
You,
Christmas. I don't mind.
I still have triple captain, so I'm planning when to use it in this next 3 weeks.
Wait, how are you not using it this week? I mean, it's Haaland. Okay,
Because
let's back up. Okay, we'll come back to free hit, right? Let's. It's Haaland. He's at home, which you always tell me you got a captain Haaland at home, and I am doing that this week. He's playing West Ham, certified bad team. Went up twice against Villa and still lost the game. Villa had like barely any XG, but doesn't matter because Villa. But still, Haaland guaranteed to start against West Ham. Probably plays 90. How have you not already activated triple captain, Sam?
if you know me, Siva, you will know the answer.
I know, but I want you to say it because I want to replay this to you when Haaland scores like a hat trick and you just, oh, I didn't triple captain him.
Because everyone is going to captain Haaland. There will be no one in your mini league this week who is not captaining Haaland. I'm not going to triple captain a player that has 100% like captaincy among everyone else. Like, what's the point? I'll be fair. I did consider triple captaining Foden.
I was gonna say that would be my next question because that feels like something more up your alley.
Yeah.
Foden in a good run of form, not feeling it.
I am feeling it. I am feeling it. But I've decided to use it in gaming 19 itself for vibes. No, there's no technical analysis here. It's just vibes. Gaming 19 is a new year fixture. Right? Like, and I already know who I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna triple captain Bruno on gaming 19. I planned it
Bruno
at
Fernandes.
home, yeah, against Wolves. It's gonna be a new year. I'm a United fan. Triple captain. Let's do it. The last possible week I could play it. It's just maximum vibes.
I gotta tell you, buddy, I'm an Arsenal fan and I captain Saka this week against Wolves, and I gotta say it's the most stressful 90 minutes I've had in a very long time. So I respect you for wanting to go there with your triple captainship, no less. Yeah, much luck to you, Sam. But
And
for
I
the
even checked it. Like I didn't want them to play like the second fixture. Like I wanted to triple captain a player who actually will play on New Year's night day for those in UK. Just for the vibes.
I think I'm sorry to tell you this, Sam. I'm pretty sure that United play Wolves on New Year's. It's not even New Year's Eve, Sam. It's on the 30th of December.
Yeah, I mean, like the first fixture. That's what I mean. Like I wanted that vibes of like
Ah,
before the year end, because the second fixture is in like first Jan, right?
yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted
Um,
it like before 2026. That's what I meant.
Fair, Sam. So that works for you, Sam. But for the more logical slash boring slash
Yeah,
just wanna
triple captain Haaland this week for those of
forget
you
how
who
to
still
say. Yeah, I
have
would
it.
have thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But if you want free hit this week, Sam, I think that was the original question, right? So shouldn't really be hard, right? This week's pretty simple, right? You get Ekitike and Haaland up top, easy. Defense, you just get. I mean, I suppose you may indulge in a non-Arsenal defender, but
You'll have
I would just
one
have
at least, right? Like I think Everton without KDH, toothless.
I like like how Dewsbury Hall has become this essential to every attack. But he is. I think Iliman and Dai probably the bigger miss if you're talking about the
Both of them,
attackers.
I think like it's a big miss for them.
Yeah. So probably you get your Raya and you get a Arsenal defender. Let's say you get Timber, and
Yeah.
then you
I
get
think this is where it gets a bit hard because there are quite a lot of teams with good fixtures, defensively at least this week. Like you, Gehi is playing against Leeds, reasonable. You can reasonably expect a clean sheet there. You want a City defender who are playing at home against West Ham. You want a Bournemouth defender as well because they're at home against Burnley. Do you want a Brentford defender?
no. I don't think I want a Brentford defender, and I think to your point, I think in these kind of instances you go with the home team, right? So I would have say Matheus Nunes. If you want to be creative, you go get Matheus Nunes against West Ham. You can get Marco Senesi, obviously, playing Burnley, easy. I
You
wouldn't
can go
indulge in Gehi.
left field and go like Adrian Truffet. Truffet.
You could Adrian Truffert, yes, you could. Bournemouth left back. I wouldn't get Mark Gehi simply because Dominic Calvert-Lewin has started scoring goals since I spent a lot of time shit talking him.
Since that episode where we should talk to him, he has scored every week.
And I guess we got to say sorry to him. I mean, I pretty sure that a lot of Leeds fans also got to say sorry to him because I think everyone said this is a fairly shit signing and why are we signing him? And that's what we said a lot of times too. But he has been quite good, and I see people talking about buying Calvert Lewin, and I can't bring myself to do it. Now, not because he's not been good; he has been really, really, really good, and he's on pens. But I struggle with a budget forward because when do you play him? Look at these fixtures: Palace, Sunderland, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle. To me, basically some of the most difficult fixtures in the league and Liverpool. So, what are you going to do? You're going to start him in all these games? Good luck to you.
Warm
You're
the
going to
bench again, I guess. But then, what's the point wasting a transfer to warm your bench, right?
Yeah. And do you trust him to make it through not injured in all of these games? Because I again, I can't say that with all good conscience. Again, this a lot of pass bias here, but yeah. So no Dominic Calvert-Lewin for me. So we cover the defense. Midfield, Sam. If you want a free hit, again, I assume pretty easy, right?
Foden, maybe
Bruno
Turkey, like just for 1 week.
for the vibes.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about United. So I've put a lot of thought into this, Siva. And I think a lot of non-United fans are really overestimating how United will do this next few weeks. Because without Mbeumo and without Diallo, and to a lesser extent Mazraoui, who basically are our entire right wing.
Okay.
They are all
Yeah.
our right side players. So it's causing a huge imbalance in our team. Now we expect Mount to get moved to the right, which is not really his natural position. Dalo will move to right wing back, and Dogo will have to play at left wing back. But I do think that it will really affect United a lot with the absence of Mbeumo and Diallo, actually, in particular, who has been really, really good for us. So I'm not keen on United for the next few weeks.
Okay, I've not been keen on Man United for about 12 years, so I'm not going to
You
argue with
say
you.
that, Siva, but you had double United midfield for way more than me this season. Okay.
I did. And I must say, I had some weeks I really questioned my life choices. Bruno has started to turn these fluky hauls into more consistent. Fluky hauls,
Yeah,
I
but
still think.
do you not see his interview where he tried he dipped his toes into Salah territory, then he pulled it back out.
I mean, Bruno's got zero right to complain about them thinking about selling him. Okay, it's a disservice to his own career that Bruno has stayed at this shit club for this long. I mean, if he had any self-respect, he'd have left a long time ago. So
And
you don't get
it's not
respect for
that
staying there.
and it's not that we thought about selling him. It's more like we were like, I think we'll be okay if he leaves. And that totally offended him. Like, how dare you? How dare you even think that you will function without me?
Yeah, I mean, I think It was a very weird interview, very passive aggressive, but it's okay. I mean, he just really loves United, so good for him. I think what we sort of uh, are speaking about in a roundabout way, Sam, is we're not sold on the Matheus Cunha hype train. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not sold on any United player, and especially I think away against Villa. Villa are now very solid at home, right? So not much confidence in United players this week.
Okay. So, but you probably would have Bruno on a free hit, would you
Not
not?
on a free hit.
Or
No, I wouldn't.
not
I
on a free
wouldn't.
hit?
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I
it
don't
is a
think. I
tough
mean,
fixture.
yeah, it is a tough fixture. So on a free hit, you're definitely going for like good fixtures. Why would you go for Bruno against a tough fixture, right?
Okay. So you get your Fodens, you get your Cherkis, you get Semenyos. Maybe you get a Saka. I think if you want to be so bold. Now the real question, Sam. This is a team playing at home, most informed attacker in the league. Are you getting Harry Wilson, the Welsh Ryan Giggs? Some say.
On a free hit, I don't know. He can't do this every week, right? And I'm pretty sure I said that last week. I
Well,
cannot bring
Fulham's
myself to do it.
okay. I mean, he's running one of those hot streaks, right? It's one of those Jesse Lingard kind of things. It's gonna go for a few weeks, and you wanna have him while it's hot. I don't think he's an essential pick, and I certainly don't think he's an essential pick on free hit. No, I might rather lean to trying to get an extra Bournemouth attacker. Maybe get Marcus Tavernier if you're
Oh
shopping in
yeah,
that bracket.
yeah. Tavernier, who did pretty well last season. Didn't start the season so well, but in recent, well, I say
He's been
recent
taking
weeks,
over.
but it's actually the recent week. What about a Brentford midfielder, Siva?
No, I'm
If you
not.
can name me one, Kevin Shad.
Yeah, it's a Kevin Schade hype I'm seeing. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling it. Brentford's entire attack seems to be hope Dango wins a pen. I'm not, or Coyote throws the ball really far. And to be fair, Schade can head the ball, but the none of these strategies seem very sustainable to me. And I've already got Igor Thiago. I imagine most people, if have Igor Thiago, if you want double Brentford attack, more power to you. But I like to enjoy my weekends. Is what I would say.
Fair.
Okay.
And with that, there's no one else.
There's no one else, and so not sure if this is really the week to use a chip, but I will leave that to people who are actually using it to think about. Captaincy, Sam, is it's pointless, right? We can't beat this guy. Like you went with Haaland. Congratulations, Sam. You got 2 extra points than me. It's a waste of time. This brother cannot be beaten. Even when I think he can, Savino decides I'm not going to shoot. I'll just win the pen. 1-on-1, no attempt to shoot. Not interested. Let me win a pen for Haaland.
He definitely captained Haaland in his team.
Can't blame him, and I will be doing the same this week.
I think if a ball Foden over Haaland, if you're really
Yeah.
bold, really, really bold.
Man, you just can't fight it, man. Haaland's just too inevitable, and I think as a Saka captain, I got really really lucky this week, and I have no interest in
Yeah, because
tempting fate that much.
I'm still kind of salty about it.
Be salty. I would encourage salt. Like if the admin in FPL Towers, if the intern sitting there, if Dave just said, I don't feel like giving this guy his assists, I think I would not be sitting here with 11 points. So feel free to be as salty as you want, Sam. I would be too.
Yep. Well, maybe I will captain Foden this week.
Triple captain, brother. Come on. Make that
No, no.
2.2
I
million, turn it into 1.2 in one
I've
week. I believe in you.
already like penciled in
Committed.
my triple captain. It's fine. It's good. Foden. I mean, Foden's form in the past 4 weeks has been insane, right? 15, 17, 12, 11. Like that's crazy. Can he do it every week though? I don't know.
It's interesting because Pep gave a very weird interview. I don't know. We're sort of going off topic here, but he said Foden really sucked this game. Like he played one of his worst games. And I told him, and then Foden gives an interview. Yeah, I was really bad this week, and I told Pep I'll try and do better.
It's kind of
I'm
self-abusive relationship they have going on.
Yeah, and then news comes out today that Pep is apparently leaving at the end of the season, and they're talking about
Mhm.
getting Enzo Maresca in. And to me, like everyone's saying, oh, they're gonna play more for Pep now. I would think this is like the most, like this is the worst takeover ever. Who wants to play for Enzo Maresca? I see all the City players downing tools.
Yeah, I never think it's a good idea for a manager to announce that it's leaving, right? Like same for Liverpool, same for United. Like every big team who has done it has suffered for it. They should not have done that.
You would never do this. Like if you were having a relationship, you never tell your girlfriend, we're gonna break up in 6 months' time. Like
But I want you to still keep performing like as though you are my girlfriend
you
for the
you still
next.
gonna come and you're gonna make my sandwich in the morning and you're gonna do whatever it is I expect you to do and you're gonna follow me to dinner and listen to me tell my shitty stories. No, of course not. Yeah, you're gonna put it. She's gonna be way less interested. And just
Yeah.
like that, the City players, Man City players. So what
So
we're
are
saying
you
is
are you
yes.
saying sell all your City players? Is that what you're saying, Siva?
I'm just saying, think about it. That's what I'm saying. I think we've done pretty well, Sam, to squeeze 48 minutes out of what is a fairly nothing week. But unless you've got anything to add, Sam.
No, that's it from me. So Siva, in the
Get your
meantime,
green arrows.